Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7. Live on hot7025fm.com.
Hi. Hey.
What's up? All your favorite artists.
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
Close your eyes. Imagine a room that doesn't just look beautiful, it feels alive. The lighting is perfect, the energy is electric, and the scent of gourmet creation is in the air. Now look around. You aren't just checking the kitchen or hovering over the guest list. You're in the moment. You're the life of the party. Welcome to the world of irresistible events and catering. In a city built on spectacle, we specialize in spectacular. At Irresistible Events and Catering, we just don't fill plates, we curate memories, because our philosophy is simple, elegant, and absolute. We plan, cater, and style any event. Why settle for ordinary when you can have the irresistible? Elevate your event at irresistibleeventslv.com.
Tune in now on hot7025fm.com.
Yo, it's Tavon Greatness Patterson. Want to listen to Hot 7025 on the go? Download the Hot 702.5 app on the Apple Store or Google Play Store if you got an Android like me.
Let's get it. Yeah. Jones. Hey. Greg Deville was at it, man. Hey. If you want the real, holla at Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in. We here to help. Now tune in. We here to help. You wanna be a broker, you wanna be broke. You wanna be the joker, you wanna be the joker. You gotta bring more to the table than your hope, dreams, and wishing. I can feed you fish or I can take you out fishing. I can show you the vision, addition and division, mathematic equation. Make the money flip like an acrobatic, amazing. Greg Deville help you build the foundation. I'm saying, if you want the real, holla at Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in. We here to help. Now tune in. We here to help.
All right, Las Vegas, good afternoon. It's Greg Deville live in studio with you today. We're excited to be back once again. Every Wednesday, high noon, we have been here for the past 3 years, and we're excited to continue on sharing more wealth building ideas. I'm Greg Deville, the wealth builder, and this show, again, is it's going to be dedicated, again, to our real estate industry. And many of you that are not homeowners, this is the time. It's a buyer's market. It's a perfect opportunity for you to get involved, creating wealth through equity. And so many of you, if you're not aware what equity might be, equity is the number between what you owe and what it's worth. So when you talk about having equity, you've got to have the home ownership, right? Because you're paying equity right now when you pay rent. However, you're paying it for someone else. So the landlord is receiving the old term my dad used to say, from the sweat of your brow. You're creating wealth. You're creating generational wealth. Guess what? But through someone else, renting someone else's property. So there are programs that are available today for the first-time buyer. And remember now, a first-time buyer is anyone who has not owned a home in the last 3 years. So although you may have owned a home in the past, but you currently do not, it's been longer than 3 years, the FHA says you're a first-time buyer. So take advantage of the opportunity that's available. And if money down is an issue, listen, we have programs that are, set aside for funding. So funding's available for many of you that just don't have the money down. But there are restrictions with the programs. Minimal 640 credit score, minimal 2 years on the job. However, if you have a 401k on your job, keep in mind the 401k allows you to get into home ownership with a mere 580 minimal FICO score. So keep in mind, there are things that maybe we weren't aware of that's available to us. So that's what the Greg Deville Wealth Building Concept Show is all about, to help you understand home ownership is it's possible. And if you're a veteran, again, we can get you in as a veteran with a 580 credit score. Keeping in mind, there are some extenuating circumstances. Your debt ratio has to be below, the 48%. So again, without any delay, without any further ado, any questions you may have, feel free to contact me. Reach out to me on all social platforms, Greg Deville YouTube, Greg Deville on Google, Greg Deville on Facebook. Everywhere you look, my contact phone number for someone needing to contact me directly, 702-349-0162. Greg Deville, Deville Realty Group, the largest black-owned real estate firm in the state of Nevada. And I'm excited to have been in the industry for over 45 years. We've helped countless numbers of individuals get into home ownership. So whether buying, selling, or investing, commercial real estate, Deville Realty is here to help. I've been a broker in the town for the past 10 years. I've been a real estate agent for the past 20 years. So again, this is what we do. We enjoy it. We love helping families get out of the apartment, get out of the rental, get into home ownership. And so today we have a special guest in studio with us, and we are excited to welcome him on today. He's been here in Vegas sometime, and I'll let him introduce some of the things that he's doing in our city and globally. Today we're having in our studio guest Dr. Lance McCarthy. Dr. McCarthy, good to have you today, Doctor. Everyone knows him affectionately by Dr. Lance.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Glad to be here, Greg.
Thank you. Thank you for coming through, sir. We love to. Been waiting for the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
To have you come. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing and what you got going on in the city.
Well, I've been very blessed. I moved here 2 years ago.
Okay.
And we created an organization called the Black Agenda.
Yes.
And that is to create black millionaires in every sector of the economy.
Yes.
So very happy to say we now have expanded to 7 cities, 7 countries.
Yeah.
We've provided over 300 honorary PhDs.
Okay.
We have had over 200 speakers, 100 performers, and we're very excited that we are announcing our SEC approval, which now gives the Black Agenda a pre-IPO valuation of $2.2 billion. So Wonderful. We're very, very excited.
So what inspired you? What inspired this for you to come
I've been blessed. I'm from St. Louis originally.
Okay.
And became an economist in the mid-'90s. I tell people as an economist, I was paid to read and write and give my opinion.
Okay.
So, of course, being a businessman first before I went into academics, I always looked at the quantitative analogy to do that. And so just very fortunate to write so many documents, speak all over the country.
Yeah.
I was an advisor to both President Clinton and President Obama. Okay. So just able to do research and look at how we can help our people. Okay. And what I came to realize, we have not had national movement since 1964 in the civil rights agenda. Yeah. And our objective is to move on the civil rights agenda and get people economically empowered as you do with your business on the real estate side. Yes. So it's no accident you mentioned equity. There's 2 ways of building wealth in this country or in the world. It's equity in real estate and it's equity in securities on Wall Street.
There you are.
And I'm blessed to have written a book a while back called Wall Street to the Hood. And it correlates all the sectors of the economy, depending on whatever you are. We can show you how to do that. So we took a page out of the Jewish phenomena. Okay. And the Jewish phenomena shows that 2.7% of the population controls 30% of wealth. Okay. So we want to do the same thing with the black community, not only here locally, but globally and nationally.
I recently saw you all were in Atlanta. Yes. That was a video I saw. Tell us a little bit how that, what happened. Did it go as expected?
Yeah, it went awesome. It went awesome. As I said, we are now in 7 cities, so we call it the Billionaire Mindset Weekend. Okay, we go into a city, and on Friday we have a reception. Okay. Saturday we have lectures, actually a suit tank, which is our Shark Tank. And then Sunday we do our honorary PhD program. Okay. So in Atlanta, we were very fortunate to partner with Pastor Jamal Bryant. We had 83 graduates. Okay. We were able to really have a significant impact there because of course, that's hot land and black people there.
Yeah.
So it just turned out real. Matter of fact, that's our largest class. We started here almost 2 years ago. Our first class was 9 people. And now in Atlanta, 83 people. So significant impact. Again, aggregating our people. So much talent out here. But people are doing individual success. We want to do a collective agenda.
There you go.
Because, we as a culture do well by ourselves, but we need to do a collective agenda. And so that's what we work on.
The honorary PhD program. Tell us a little bit about that. How do people get involved with?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Well, it's led by Dr. King Rivers, Clyde Rivers. It is United College Graduate Seminary International. It is an international university accredited by the Christian University sector. And so we are creating what we call life-based learning. When you get your traditional PhD, you're just starting. In life-based learning, we find experts like Greg Deville who are experts in their area, and then we provide you the honorary doctorate degree based on your life experiences and your skill. Now you're the expert in those areas. So we're disrupting traditional educational arena.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Someone wants to get involved. Someone's listening right now, says, I'd like to get involved in something like that. I have what I specialize in.
Yes, sir.
I know people specialize in a lot of different, you know what I mean? And
sir.
How would they get involved? What is that? Is there a sign up? What is that?
Yes, so we have the Black Agenda meeting every Tuesday night. And so it is our way for people to come, share. We have speakers that share their expertise area. But if you want to plug in, you're able to come to those meetings and plug in and share us what you're doing. We require people to give us a one-page executive summary, and once we do that, we look at how we can expand you and help you scale.
Right. Okay.
Yes,
and so Tuesdays, give us the location, time, and things like that. What is that?
Okay, it is at the Dragon Gate in Chinatown on Jones. It starts at 7. We network for the first half an hour, 7:30 on the dot. We go into our program. It's typically 1 or 2 performers and then 2 to 3 speakers. We call it edutainment. We want to educate you and entertain you at the same time. And we also call it church in the club because we start with prayer, we end with prayer, and we're able to help people from that perspective.
The Black Agenda. So you were motivated to get this started. So when you got here 2 years ago, did you bring this with you? It's something that came about when you got here that you thought you would start? Where's the birth of this?
Of what I already did. So when Ferguson happened, I created Ferguson 1000. Those are created 1,000 jobs to have a solution to protesting. So myself, Ray Lewis, Jeff Hoffman, co-founder of Priceline, we went around the country and actually created 10,000 jobs. So the Black Agenda is the extension of that, focused on entrepreneurship. Ferguson was on jobs. The Black Agenda is focused on entrepreneurship. And again, this research has been around forever. I've done research extensively. And so it's a culmination of my life's work in order to create this platform. And by Vegas being the entertainment capital of the world, and people come here from all over the world, I figured the best place to be able to headquarter it, to tap into all the growth that is happening here. And so it just became a great place for our headquarters.
Wonderful. I wrote a couple questions that I wanted to kind of know about. What are some of the biggest challenges currently facing Black-owned businesses in America today? So I believe the challenge is not adapting AI and not adapting technology. Because majority of our businesses are solopreneurs, but the benefit is that you can tap into technology. So there's a new technology being developed every 30 minutes. You go to school now and graduate 4 years from now, everything you learn is obsolete. So I think the challenges is, 1, being able to tap into technology, and 2, always access to capital. Only 1% of equity capital comes to Black businesses. So it's how we have to be creative in our capital access, and that's what we focus on. How do you believe entrepreneurship and business ownership can transform undeserved communities economically and socially? Yes,
sir. Great question. Well, we were that way prior to the civil rights. So back in the 40s and the 50s, when we had all these great Black Wall Streets around the country, we were self-contained. So we have to be able to get back to that. Ownership is the only way we're going to create wealth and be able to partner with our constituents. So I believe that the aggregation Black entrepreneurs sharing their visions, tapping into finance, tapping into technology, and tapping into international. Because there are so many companies and countries around the world that we can tap into it. I call it Get Fit, finance, international technology.
Yeah.
And if we focus on those three things, we can empower our people.
And I think when you talk about entrepreneurship, I'm recently an author.
Yes, sir.
I wrote a book entitled The Journey into Entrepreneurship and Success. And my thought in this entrepreneurship is I want to show you what that looks, because everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Everybody wants to get up when they done sleeping. Everybody want to be able to, call the day.
Yes, sir.
Right? But you need to know what that journey looks like.
That's correct.
Because it's not an easy journey.
Not at all.
It's not something that it's not for the weak.
Not at all, sir.
I tell people that work even on my team.
Right.
And as real estate brokers, and agents, we're entrepreneurs. You're a 1099.
Yes,
you
sir.
are not getting a regular pay.
Right.
And so at the end of the day, is what you put in is what you're getting out.
That's right.
And AI, as you mentioned, being number one right now.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
it's going to make more millionaires in 5 years than it took 25 years to
On
do.
internet, that's correct.
And it's very important that we, and those of you that are listening today,
Yes.
take some of the courses. A friend of mine is starting a course, the basics of AI.
Yes, sir.
How to just get started. Because I've spoken some things before in the AI, and I was shocked when I got back.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
In fact, a couple questions. I said, I might have Dr. Lance on today. I want to, ask a couple questions, such as this question: how important is financial literacy and economic education in building generational wealth within the minority communities?
It is very important. The
Absolutely.
very first sentence in my book, Wall Street to the Hood, says, if you don't understand capitalism, you're a foreigner in your own country. Learn the language. Business is a language. I even go as far to say emotions after 10. We need to do financing during the day.
Yeah.
So once you understand the language, you're able to do business much more, and financial literacy is the base of that.
Yes.
Again, we're taught to work and get a wage. Whereas
And retire.
Yeah, and retire.
And retire.
Whereas if you understand capitalism is creating a system that makes money for you.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett says you make money during the day, you build wealth at night. So how do you create a system that makes money for you? And that again is in real estate and in equities and being able to understand the stock market.
Another term that I like to keep close to me is residual income.
Yes.
And I think many times we don't think about it. As you mentioned a moment ago, many of us many individuals go to work, right, just to retire.
Yes,
oh man,
sir.
I got 5 more years left, right? And then you're looking for the gold watch.
That's right.
For the retirement day.
Right.
But many don't realize the statistics shows that most people that retire within 5 to 7 years, they die.
It's over. Yes,
They
sir.
die.
Yes, sir.
And people say, well, why do you think that is? If you could elaborate, why do you think that is?
I think that we have been living in fear and we condition ourselves to, again, get that wage, get to the end of the rope. And so you stop living. You've tied so much into a job that it is your lifeline as opposed to exploring, sharing, connecting. There's so much to do in life as opposed to just working. Now, everybody can't be an entrepreneur. Some people can be an entrepreneur. Some people need to stay inside, find out what the procurement officer is buying, and let's do that with an entrepreneur outside. But more importantly, we all have a purpose. We all have a passion. And when you can create that and find it and make money off of it, it's the best thing in the world. You don't work anymore. You're living to the ultimate high.
And that really speaks to why I do radio.
Yes, sir.
I have another station across town. I've been 10 years on radio.
Okay.
Right? Every week I'm on radio.
Awesome.
At the end of the day, one thing I learned was exposing people to information. At the beginning of the show, I talked about programs that are available. Yes. People didn't know they could buy a house because they used their VA before. They thought, I use it, I'm done. My show has gotten more people back in the home ownership with their VA that they didn't know they could use again.
They didn't know.
Because knowledge is power.
Yes, sir.
But one of the problems I have with the knowledge is power statement is that it becomes dormant power in the life of many. Such as the time you hear me talk about it, but you keep on renting.
Yeah, you got to execute.
You got to
Yes,
perform.
sir. Yes, sir.
You got to show up.
Yes, sir.
Because when you get the information, what do you do with it? Where do I go from here? Well, you contact Greg Deville.
Right.
I walk you through the process. I have a lady I'm working with right now. She's scared to death. Her husband passed. She got to sell her home. She's just, Mr. Deville, I don't know what to do. She said, my husband unfortunately passed away during COVID. 5 years she's been stuck in the house. And she's just fearful. But debt has creeped up on her. And the husband always told her, if you ever get in debt, just sell the house and use your equity. And so she talked about it because she's heard me on the radio.
Awesome.
And she said, Mr. Deville, I hear you talking about it. Can you help me?
Oh, that's great.
You know what I mean? And those are the kind of things. I had a lady call me on the way here. And she was talking to me. She says, I heard you mention about living trust. She was a Caucasian lady who listened to the black radio. She said, I heard you talk about a living trust.
Yes.
I want to know more. And I said, well, you could do it yourself. People aren't aware. You don't have to pay. I paid $4,000 about 8 years ago to an attorney.
Okay.
But now since my divorce, the trust is no good.
I got you.
Now I got to go do it again.
Right.
But there's a living, you could do it yourself.
Yes, sir.
It's a form place. I went and got the forms. Guess what? Did it myself. She heard me talking about it.
Right,
and that's why it's important that we continue to share.
Yes, sir.
Because when you talk about building wealth as a tenant, when you're paying rent, you're building wealth. It's doing it for someone else. And so we want to get you in the driver's seat, let you become the pilot of your equity.
That's correct.
Right? So we could do, well, Mr. Deville, money's the problem. And that's why today having you on the show to talk about economic wealth, and there's a lot of ways, again, to build insurance,
Yes,
right?
sir.
You talk
Yes,
about
sir.
annuities and different things. Talk a little bit more what you feel that people should get involved in this era right now, the way the economy is and things like that.
Yeah, you alluded to it, that majority of people think money is in the banks. It is not. It's in pension funds, insurance companies, and Wall Street.
Yeah.
And it's always been my educational objective to people to let them know to study the markets.
Yeah.
If you are interested in a product, say if you're buying Louis Vuitton or buying whatever kind of car, you need to buy the stock in it because you're increasing the value. The way that we were able to increase our value so much is because we put so many people on our platform with different skill sets. So my goal is to make sure that we teach people about equities, about stock, and that you trade every day. You talked about how people retire. Well, they think that the pension fund is out there for 30 years. No, they're trading your money every single day.
Exactly.
And every pension fund, either you're a teacher, a fireman, or a policeman, you can go to your pension funds and look at them investing in the projects because every pension fund has a 5% kicker to invest in alternative investments. So again, just as you do, I love to educate people about securities, about Wall Street. And again, we're very excited that I wrote this book over 20 years ago. And now it's actually being turned into a movie. Darius McCrary is playing for me. And then also now to be having the largest IPO for a black firm in history, it's been all divine. And so I just want to share with people what the opportunities are in the equities and the stock market and be able to teach people that perspective.
Now, you said you wrote this book over 20 years ago. A lot has changed.
Oh, yes.
What would you add if you could do a volume 2?
Yes, sir.
What
I'm
would you
working on
add?
that.
Yeah. Give us a snippet of what would you add to this new volume, because we got technology. We have things we didn't have 20 years ago.
That's correct.
Give me just a taste of what this new vision might
as we
look
alluded
like.
to it, AI can assist you in having 10, 20, 100x because it's able to, you used to could only grow your company based on labor, based on more workers. Well, now you 10x, 100x, you got as many workers as you want to. You have a room full of engineers at your fingertips. So one of the things that has changed, of course, is AI. Last year, we lost 1 million jobs in reference to AI. You won't lose your job to AI. You'll lose your job to those who understand AI.
Right.
UPS laid off 40,000 people. But their stock went up $8 billion. So the first time in history, we've gone to a jobless economic growth. So there's a lot of things that are changing and happening, but it benefits us. We can connect it to the global economy. You're having the African Stock Exchange growth as never been before. You're having the access to all global technology initiatives. So if there's things that's changed in our platform over the last 20 years is one, the AI. Tap it into the AI. Two, the whole financial markets. You don't have to just invest in penny stocks. You can invest in major stocks and stock exchanges all around the world. And again, as I mentioned earlier, the international markets. We have over 400 world trade centers in this world, which means you can find a trade rep that will look at the countries based on your product and be able to sell your product worldwide. It used to be FUBU. Now it's FABU. For all by us. What can you sell to the world but still be by black people? So there's some new trends that I'm very excited about that I'm going to put into the new book, The Wall Street 2.0.
If you were to tell someone, so they're at work every day, but they want to get into trade.
Yes, sir.
What does that look like for a man who's got a 9 to 5, get home, got the wife and the kids, and he just wake up and do it all over again and go back to work? But he wants in his heart, he wants to be able to trade.
Yes.
Where can he go What can he do?
Great question.
To get involved?
Great question.
We
create the program called BYOB, Be Your Own Bank.
Okay.
And so we call it, not to be facetious, we call it trading for dummies. So when you first you start to trade,
I'm a dummy.
you have to learn. Now AI does it.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a platform that you only have to trade twice a day. They tell you what trades to do, and you're able to really enhance your money. We started the program about 2 months ago. Personally, my money doubled in the first 30 days. So it is trading, but with AI, and you don't have to know it all. You can learn as you go. So again, we call it the BYOB program under the Black Agenda, the Be Your Own Bank initiative. And it came out of legislation. I tell people, if you're going to look at politics, look at politics that shows business legislation. What can we pass that we can benefit from, not on the social side? Since 1964, we have spent $22 trillion on poverty. Ronald Reagan said the war on poverty won. We got to look at business legislation in order to help entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
sir.
That's powerful, man. They want to get in touch. Somebody heard something today.
Yes, sir.
They want to be able to reach out to you.
Yes, sir.
What platforms are you putting out there?
Instagram is the easiest. You can go to the Black Agenda now.
Black Agenda
on IG, and you can go to Dr. Silverfox 2X7 on IG. Both of those are on IG.
Okay.
Yes,
the Black
sir.
Agenda, and we would find everything as Silver Fox's Black Agenda. Everything's all the same. I'm not needing one.
No, votes the
prior
same.
to the. Okay, very good.
Yes, sir.
We talk about the stock, which is good. Now, some insurance annuities.
Yes.
You mentioned a little bit about that. Somebody. Eyebrow went up when you mentioned it. They said, "Ooh, give me a little bit more about that."
Yes, sir.
How could you talk a little bit about that?
Well, as we mentioned again, back to securities, it is a mechanism that you can use to build wealth.
Yeah.
I've done a lot with the Asian community.
Okay.
And in the Asian community, they bring the elderly over first. And I say, why do you do that?
Yeah.
They say we take insurance out on them because we know they're going to die. So we leverage that insurance for our next capital wealth.
Yeah.
And as you know, in the insurance game, you can borrow against, you can leverage against, and just like stock. So I always admire people and advise people to get the stock portfolio, to get the insurance portfolio, to get the real estate portfolio, and be able to create a portfolio that makes money for you. And it's so many experts out here, including yourself, that can assist the average person on doing that.
Yeah. People always want to know, how much do I need to start with something like this, right? That's an issue because I went to San Francisco last week.
Yes, sir.
And I ended up having to drive because the airfare and then rent a car. I'm like, man, it was cheaper to drive.
For sure.
So I just got up early. I was there at 9 a.m., 10 o'clock in the morning. I was there.
Okay.
Right? But it's always concerning about what startup looks like.
Right.
Because you hear so many things in your emails, your inbox. Hey, we can start here for $20. You can start here for $100, get you double your money. I heard Elon talking about sold $100 into what he's got going and watch your money double and triple. I don't know. It's so much, right?
It is so much.
And so to somebody saying, where do I start that's honestly going to be beneficial?
Yeah, so it's a minimum amount to start in a wide variety of programs. In our BYOB program, the Be Your Own Bank, it's $500 minimum to start.
Yeah.
So you got to have anywhere from $100 to $1,000 to work with to start. But once you're into the game, you let your money make money and keep going. But you got to start.
Yeah.
I tell people you can't win the Super Bowl in the stands. You got to get out there and play.
Yeah.
And we got to get past fear, and we got to understand what capitalism truly is. That there's good capitalism. It's like, that's mean and greed. No. I tell people I used to be an entrepreneur. I'm a cold-blooded capitalist with a heart now. You understand the rules are differently. And so, again, it's what you do and what we do. Continue to educate the masses because I truly believe as an economist, the more individuals tap into the capitalist system, then we are able to grow better as a people, as a culture, as an economy. And you can't just work. You got to be able to have investments. And there's so many ways to do that.
Absolutely. One of the things I'd like to mention also is the 401k program that a lot of people have on their job. They're not aware that because they borrow that money for things like I needed a oil change or I need a transmission. Right. But they don't understand that 401k can actually create generational wealth.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And they sit and let it pile and pile and pile. I sell a lot of homes, and people don't realize that with a 401k, you be a bare 580 minimal credit score. They're like, really?
Yes, sir.
And then you'd use it without penalty. That's that's been a real benefit for the talk shows, educating that your 401k, you can borrow from it for whatever reason, pay up to a 10% penalty. However, to borrow from it to purchase a home, zero penalty.
Yes, sir.
And people just are not aware.
They're not aware.
What would you recommend when with 401? Give a little information what your thoughts are.
As you alluded to, that is, again, an annuity. That is a security. And we're talking about that today. And so you can borrow against it. You can leverage it. Real estate, 401ks, insurance companies, and stock are all assets. And you want to be able to get asset-producing revenues. And that's how you do it. And so by today, us talking about all this, I hope that we can educate even more people on your job is just your major way of making revenue, but your assets are your way of building wealth.
And I like to also say your job is another way to leverage that business you want to start, right? Now, you need the job. I tell my agents, they come join my team, and they want to be a realtor, and they see all the money you make. And I say, but don't forget, there's some dry months.
That's right.
You made $80,000 last month, but then you don't close another deal for 3 months. You got to make that 80 work,
Stretch, for
right?
sure.
How you going to work that 80?
Yes,
you
sir.
can't go buying, because I'm not a big investor into the Louis and the Gucci.
I got you.
I'm not a name brand guy.
Yes, sir.
Just never was.
Yes,
I didn't
sir.
see the need for it. I felt like he's already rich.
Right.
This
You know,
Michael
make him rich.
Kors guy
Right.
never gives back to my community, but more people in my community wear his product.
Of course.
But he never has a shoe drive. He
Right.
never has a clothes drive. He never have toy drive in my community. But more of us wear his product.
Of course.
I want to meet the guy.
Yes, sir.
Like, why is it that you haven't?
Right,
Because your
right.
name's all over my community. They got him on the watch. They got him
Everywhere,
on the belt. They
everywhere.
got him on the shoes. They
Yes,
got him
sir.
on a hat. They got him on a visor.
Yes, sir.
Everywhere you go.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
But he doesn't give back. I think it's important in our community.
Yes.
Now, I'm unapologetically black.
Yes,
and
sir,
I believe in
yes,
I
sir.
believe in supporting the community.
Yes.
And even if a brother mess up, I still say, well, that's okay, brother. Let's
happens,
fix
for
that,
sure.
right?
Yes, sir.
Because I ain't always been perfect.
Right.
I messed some jobs up and,
Yes,
and,
sir.
and didn't know to call you because I was running late.
Right.
You know, and to respect people's time. But I want to give you another opportunity.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? I think too many times we give up on one another. Well, you know, that's why I don't go to black people, because they
Totally
always,
agree.
you see what I mean?
Yes,
and
sir.
at the same time, we don't forgive, but we don't get mad because we go to McDonald's and the ice cream machine
That's
didn't
right.
work.
Yes,
We ain't
sir.
go on Facebook and put it up. Well, you know, every time I come to McDonald's, you ain't never said a word about McDonald's.
Right.
But soon as the black man drop a ball for whatever reason,
I know.
you may not even understand what made him drop the ball. I had a situation this week. I had to go to Frisco for a family emergency, right? And some other things matter of fact, I had a host last week, and I didn't know that I needed this family emergency. I had a guest come to the studio, and I'm in Frisco. Totally forgot because the family emergency took my mind
Yes, sir.
to the emergency. And once I'm dealing with it. So at the end of the day, I think it's important that we forgive one another.
Totally agree.
And be able to let that be water under the bridge and keep calling. I just remodel. I buy and flip properties.
Okay.
So I'm a plumber by trade,
okay.
but I'm a handyman by skill, right? Went to school. I like plumbing, so I went to school to be that. But my daddy taught me how to be a handyman, a jack of all trade and a master of none. So I've been fixing houses for over 40 years.
Awesome.
Okay. I just turned 61.
Okay.
Been having fun in these last 20 years in real estate because you meet so many people that you can help create generational wealth.
Yes, sir.
And I think what you're doing with the Black Agenda is helping people to understand.
Yes, sir.
There's more than a 9 to 5. It's more than getting up every day, going to the same place for 30 years,
Totally agree.
only to get a gold watch.
Yes, sir.
Only to get a check at the end, and to die maybe possibly 5 years later.
Right.
With that, my mother-in-law, my previous wife, I'm a widow of a wife. About 20 years ago, she passed.
Oh, sorry to hear.
But her mother worked 20 years at a hotel here in the town. She was a housekeeper, 20 years. She had been making 16 to 18 rooms a day, cleaning rooms, physically making bed, doing all of that. About 5 years after retirement, body shut down. Body literally couldn't get up and walk anymore.
Yes, sir.
So we don't realize that keeping our bodies
Oh,
active
you got to be active.
and the importance of
Yes.
moving around.
Yes.
Because I know even at 60, I get up in the morning and say, ooh, where'd that come from? But as I get out there and I continue to move around,
yes.
it kind of goes away.
That's right.
Now, tomorrow it may
Blood
come
flow-
back.
Right. Blood flow is
You
important.
got to get the flow.
Yes,
Got to
sir.
get the flow.
Yes, sir.
You have some things coming up.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
us about that.
Yes, sir. Well, we'll celebrate my birthday.
Okay.
That's
All
going to be
right.
June the 2nd.
June 2nd. Okay.
We're having an all-white party
Okay. Okay.
at the D&D Mansion. So it's a combination of celebrating my birthday, but also celebrating the largest black IPO in history. So your listeners are invited out to that.
Okay.
It's next Tuesday, 7 o'clock at the D&D Mansion, but they need to RSVP.
Okay.
So we can know how many people are coming.
So how would they reach out for the RSVP? What is that platform you want them to do that
It's
on?
Eventbrite.
Eventbrite.
They can go to Eventbrite and Sir Lance's White Party, or they can come to our Instagram. Again, I mentioned the blackagendanow.com or Dr. Silver Fox XX7 Instagram.
Okay.
Yes,
so the
sir.
birthday's coming up. What else we got coming up? Because you're a busy man. I see you.
yes, sir.
You always got something in the works down the road.
Yes, well, it's political season, so we're looking at how we can put the agenda to all the politicians and what's their agenda for a black agenda.
Okay.
And so we're meeting with all the different politicians, seeing what from the city, the state to the federal level, and so we're having many events around that because politics and business are brother and sister, and we got to be able to make sure that the politicians just don't come into church on Sunday before Tuesday, but they have an agenda for the black agenda. So we're doing a lot with that as well.
And get out the vote. You got to.
Yes, sir.
And what are we doing to kind of get out the vote campaign? Right. That's a campaign in itself.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yes, it is. It's very important. Early voting just started, so you can be able to go do early voting. You can do mail-in ballots as well. Yeah. And then, of course, in June is the official, but we're encouraging people to get out early so we can be able to make an indent on both sides of the aisle.
Absolutely.
Because back in my book that I wrote over 20 years ago, Wall Street to the Hood, my political chapter says 50% Democrat, 50% Republican, 100% black. We got to understand, we got to play both sides of the game in order to move an agenda forward. So,
absolutely.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be doing a lot more get out the vote.
Awesome.
I think it's important. I go to the barbershops. I hear a lot of guys say, "Man, they don't need me voting. I ain't my vote." And I'm actually saying, it does.
Yes, sir.
Because every vote that you don't, every no vote goes for the other guy.
Correct.
Right. And so at the end of the day, we want to make sure. So I'm starting a campaign.
Awesome.
Get out the vote.
Awesome.
Right. I want to make sure, and that's everywhere I go.
Important.
Let's get out the vote, man. We got to make a change to what we're seeing today.
Yes, sir.
Right. Not to get into politics, but there's got to be some change.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't award a man who beat up a cop.
Right.
You can't sign a check to that.
Right. I agree.
And why do we think it's okay?
Yes, sir.
Why do certain people sitting in seats think it's okay in the South? I just sold land in Mississippi, and I was talking to the farmer that I sold it to, a black farmer, and he was just telling me, he says, "Man," he said, "they still lynch people in Mississippi." I said, "Wow." Yeah. He said, "We still deal with racism. Besides them trying to bring it back,
for sure,
we still deal with it heavily." And he said he was so glad that I sold him my 80 acres of land.
Awesome.
As a black man. He said, because most black people die owning 250 or 80 acres or whatever it is, but they sell it off to the other persuasion.
Of course.
And at the end of the day, they don't own much in their own town.
Right.
And my land was literally around the corner from his land.
Awesome.
And so to be able to make that connection. And I think if we just take a moment
yes, sir,
and let's see how we can consider helping each other build, grow, and achieve success, right? And so I'm glad to have you come on my show today.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Talk again about how they can reach out to you for the birthday bash. So give that information again for somebody just tuning in and say, I didn't get it. Okay. They're driving, so they pulled over.
Yes. So it's on Eventbrite. It's under Sir Lance White Party Birthday Soiree.
Okay.
You can go on Eventbrite and do that, or you can go to our Instagram, again, the Black Agenda Now, and or Dr. Silver Fox 2X7.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Lance McCarthy, everybody. We're so glad that you joined me today.
Appreciate it.
Glad you came by.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
And bringing the awareness
yes, sir,
about global economy, right? And how to be successful. How to make sure that success is yours.
Yes, sir.
Right? You can have it.
Yes,
it's
sir.
attainable.
That's it.
It's for all of us.
It's all manifested.
But how
yes,
do you
sir.
do it, right?
I totally agree.
And again, on the real estate side is where I'm big on it.
Yes.
Right? I believe everybody has their corner of the world, what they do.
Yes,
and
sir.
I believe, again, mine is totally real estate. I've ventured in some other things, but I always come back to real estate.
Yeah,
I say, you know what, I'm gonna stay where I'm at.
Passion perfect. Yes, sir.
I'm comfortable here, and I do it well. Many say,
yes.
You're able to have the patience for people.
Yes.
Even those that are afraid, because again, you get people, they get buyer's remorse.
Oh, of course.
I had a lady had buyer's remorse, brother, and she heard me she came to visit in Las Vegas, heard the radio show, just happened to be driving and heard the radio show while she's in town, but lives in New York.
Wow.
And said her son, and she was coming to visit her son and daughter, and said, you know what, I think I'm going to buy a house here.
Wow.
And walked her through she couldn't buy in New York. Okay. She lived in an apartment for 30 years.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Couldn't afford to buy. New York is too expensive. She was a retired lady by this time. She was able to get in the house.
Awesome.
But she first said, I don't think I'm going to buy that house, Mr. Deville. But we were able to coach her and show her how to make it happen.
Yes,
and guess what she did? She bought that home.
Awesome.
But before she could make her first payment, she passed away.
Oh, no.
But one of the things we talked about I didn't know she was ill. I didn't know she was a breast cancer, cancer survivor.
Right.
But one of the things we talk about is putting your next of kin on the deed, right? And passing down generational wealth.
Sir.
And so she unfortunately passed, but she said, the daughter called me to tell me, and she said, but Mr. DeVille, I'm glad you told my mother to add me to the deed. Oh, not knowing she was ill or anything like that, but just add that loved one to the deed. Guess what? The mother unfortunately passed. The daughter moved out of the apartment, moved into mom's house,
awesome.
and guess what? The daughter's a homeowner.
That's awesome. Yes,
so those kind of
Great
things
work.
we take credit with the
Yes,
with the radio talk shows, bringing that knowledge and information. So I want to thank you again.
Thank you, brother.
For taking time out of your busy day,
sir.
man,
Yes, sir.
to share with me this important information.
Anytime. I appreciate
All right?
sharing.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
everybody. Dr. Lance McCarthy. Again, you're listening to the Greg DeVille Wealth Building Show right here at 702.5fm.com. We love it. We have fun. It's always great for our guests to have come in, share great information with you. Hope something that you heard today can stay with you, help you build your wealth, generational wealth. And don't forget, don't just write a will, do a living trust. All right. Look, Las Vegas, I got to go. It's other things to do on today, but I certainly enjoyed with you sharing this time. Greg DeVille, all platforms, IG, Greg DeVille, LV, Greg DeVille on Google. If you didn't get my contact, go to Google. It's got everything. It knows everything about me. So until I talk to you next time in Las Vegas, may God's best be yours.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah. Jones, hey, Greg DeVille was at it, man. Hey, if you want the real, holla at Greg DeVille. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg DeVille. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in. We here to help. Now tune in. We here to help. You wanna be a broker, you wanna be broke. You wanna be the joker, you wanna be the joker. You gotta bring more to the table than your hope, dreams and wishing. I can feed you fish or I can take you out fishing. I can show you the vision, addition and division, mathematic equation. Make the money flip like an acrobatic, amazing. Greg DeVille help you build the foundation. I'm saying, if you want the real, holla at Greg DeVille. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg DeVille. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in. We here to help. Now tune in. We here to help.